All right, you ready?
Oh, am I?
Don't sound too enthused, man.
Let's do it.
We're keeping that opening, by the way.
Hey, that's fine. Which one?
What?
The but boom or the
Let's do it.
All right, there you go.
Welcome to episode 26 of the Big Damn Podcast, the monthly behind-the-scenes peek into our production and distribution company, Big Damn Films. Yeah, I like.
Yeah.
I have to blank. You can say so whatever you want. Your shit.
Hi. How's it going? It's the end of March.
Yeah, it is the end of March. It's 30 days from our premiere. It's the
30 days. Yep.
Wild. Yeah, it's wild, but it's also, as with everything with this project, nothing is going smoothly.
I mean, if the saying goes that adversity builds character, we've got enough character for another movie.
We've got enough character for a trilogy.
We do, after everything from this one.
Yep. So, a little bit catch up since the last podcast is our sound designer and composer, Johnny Wilson, who lives in Hawaii, got hit with back-to-back storms, which damaged and destroyed his studio. Yep. So we are now in the process of pivoting to finding a new composer, which I think we have them.
I think so.
And Tamara Johnson and I are going to tackle sound design. Sound design for me being the the hits and the all of that other fun stuff, and for her the overall experience of 5.1. So, but that also happened at the 11th hour, right? Like, we still have the trailer that is beautiful, color corrected by Edwin. The audio is crisp and clean from Tamara. So I'm going to be adding a score to it as soon as we get recording this podcast. Yep. But that should have been done 2 weeks ago. We were supposed to release it on St. Patrick's Day.
Yep.
Yeah. And everything kind of went to shit a couple days before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, 30 days away from the premiere, we have a lot of interest. Dread Central. I don't know what it is. As soon as we start recording this podcast, like, my nose itches.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I've gone back and watched every episode. Yep. And at some point, like, I scratch my nose.
Well, look, stop the pre-show Coke.
Well, you're right. God damn it. I've picked it up in New Jersey, and anyway. So yeah, I mean, we're behind, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm not nervous.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that haven't gone according to plan or gone in the most ideal way.
Right.
But there's nothing insurmountable.
No, I mean, it's going to suck for a lot of people for the next 2 weeks. A lot of people being me, Tamara, and the sound designer.
Yeah.
Or the composers.
Composers, yeah.
But the reality of that is that once it's done, like, the movie by itself looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
I went to MegaCon last weekend because Jen was working, and we got a photo with a lot of the cast of Lord of the Rings. But I also talked to the people at Indie Horror Junkies and showed them the color corrected trailer.
Oh, cool.
And they were like, holy shit, this looks better than some studio stuff, right?
It does look good.
It looks great. So and the sound, like, there's nothing that I trust more in as far as sound than Tamara Johnson, who's been doing this for 40 years. And if she's telling us that she's confident and it's going to sound good,
then it will.
No
question, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's as soon as that trailer's done and it's out, the pick up its steam.
Yeah.
Very, very
They were
interesting.
good. Yeah, and again, this is like we kind of talked about earlier with Tamara, is that this is to get it ready for the premiere, and then got more theaters to find and some good physical media to develop and do, and some streaming packages to put together, and some of those things are still a ways off. And if there's oh, we thought of this, or oh, if I had more time I could do that, look, how many times has George Lucas remade Star Wars?
Yeah, I mean, and the added bonus of this is that because we're if you attend the premiere, which has the Q&A afterwards, those people get added to the credits. So the credits have to be adjusted anyway for the Blu-ray and DVD. So if we take that, like, that's why I'm totally okay if we take that time and bump up the in-home experience.
Yep.
Right? Because it just makes the streaming and in-home experience even better.
Yeah. It's not going to fundamentally change the movie, but there are going to be little things and just little things that, we can actually have the time to do right.
Right. But it's crazy because it's just, it's getting closer.
It is. It's going to be real soon.
I mean, it's a real boy now.
We're going to deliver the baby.
But I'm also like, I'm rehashing for those listening, you're hearing this for the first time, but Logan and I had this conversation earlier, like going to MegaCon and bumping into people in the airport and telling them about the movie and telling them and showing them just the color correction of the teaser or trailer, and like it gets people excited. And Dread Alert Media did a really nice piece for us and promoted it, and that just made my heart happy.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's combining so many things from both our history and where we're going. I mean, the fact that they really did touch on the Arbor Day Foundation connection, where we are going to be taking $1 from each viewing, each physical media, and donating it to them to plant a tree. Right. We don't have to do that, but that's one more piece of kind of the DNA of who we are and what's going to help distinguish us from everything we do from others.
Yeah. Well said. And I think honestly, like, I'm very curious to see what life will be like. Again, I don't know what it is. This doesn't bother me. It's a fucking cocaine. Because I have to look at this in the edit afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the like, at no point up from 9:00 till 11 did my nose itch. We start recording and I'm like, I feel like I have a cocaine problem.
Yep.
I'm very interested to see what life is going to be like on the other side of a finished movie like this.
Yeah.
It's very weird to be, this isn't like Brown Coats. Where like Brown Coats, we knew we had something good.
Yeah.
It was not as great as we wanted it to be because we didn't find Tamara until later. So like the quality of the movie, Dragon Con wasn't even 95%.
Yeah.
But we finished it and everybody loved it.
Yep.
For me, with this one, I will be very interested to see, with the level of quality that we have, with the level of polish that Tamara will bring to it, what the life of this movie has on the other side of release.
Yeah.
And if the interest and indication is an indication of how we'll do, it's going to do pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, look, we didn't really have that. Not that we could have. But I mean, the only digital legs Browncoats has was the torrents back then. So it wasn't even like there was a streaming option or a world to really kind of look at then. So I think that's where the difference for me comes in that, like, I remember seeing it for the first time in public. I remember seeing it for the first time in a theater, in an Alamo in Virginia. Like there's that release, so I'm looking forward to that again. But
Right.
yeah, there's a whole new world of digital longevity that is going to be really interesting to have and to kind of live with.
Well, not just that, but it's also, we want to do a limited theatrical run, right? Like we want to try to find a bunch of theaters that'll take this on. And then that'll be significantly easier with a trailer out in the world for people to see.
Sure.
But the ability we've done the theatrical, like the thing about Browncoats is that everything was either tied to a convention or wherever we could get like a charity showing. Right. There, and it was laying the tracks down in front of the train as it was going 120. And this time we don't have that worry of we only have 365 days.
Right.
We have the ability to do a year from now an annual showing at SModcastle.
Sure.
We have the ability to slowly take this out and do a 5.1, and then we shot it in 8K, so we could release a 4K version, we could release an 8K version, we could do what was the binary,
a binaural,
we could do the binaural recording version of all the ambient effects for a steelbook release in a year. We were limited to a window of time,
right?
With Browncoats, with this, we have the rest of our lives of how many times we want to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm fully aware, movies like Evil Dead and stuff like that bombed at the movie theater, but came back to be cult hits.
Oh yeah.
And by no means am I under the delusion that we have the next Iron Lung or Undertone, but I think this could, have legs for a long time.
Yeah, it's absolutely got some legs.
And this is where, if you are a Patreon supporter, you'll hear something, but if you're not, you're going to hear a jingle.
Hey, podcast listener, if you're hearing this, you're only getting part of the story. Our Patreon members get exclusive early access to live recordings, bonus content, and the full unedited version of this podcast. Join us at patreon.com/bigdamnfilms and be part of the Big Damn story.
This is going to be an abrupt version of...
Yeah, this will be a quick one.
Yeah, we got too much shit to do.
We got stuff to do. We're gonna finish a movie, we're gonna put it out, and then we'll come back and then we'll talk about that.
So Logan, I got a question for you.
Okay.
How long would you like to play the Arborist?
How long would I like to play the Arborist?
The in makeup character, not the non-makeup character.
No, that's fine. And I think we did talk about this a little bit. The non-makeup character, I don't have any interest in playing. If we get to the point where we're doing that kind of backstory and stuff, I would much rather spend the money, spend the time, spend the producing effort finding somebody who can act and do it justice, quite frankly. So I'm all for that. But as far as in character, I think I'd like to do it at least once more, at a minimum. I'd like to. I mean, when we were doing this to start, I certainly had my, horror icons to kind of study and see how they did things and kind of what made them unique. There were things I tried to do that sort of worked, things I tried to do that didn't work at all as I see them on camera after the fact. So trying to, I have some interest in trying to build the unique aspects of the character out more in a second one than I was able to in the time we had for the first one.
Okay. That's fair.
So I'm interested in trying to do that. And then grading myself and seeing, did I feel I was able to do it? Does the camera catch it? And as long as, quite frankly, as long as I'm not detracting from where the character, where the franchise, where we can take things, it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Good. Because I definitely want to make a second one no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, as we all know, this was the Stroke project and there is a lot going on. But we have a good behind the scenes team.
Yeah.
That I would like to do this again with a little bit better pre-production schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you and I already have a plan for what the second one's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And all that other fun stuff. But as we're getting closer to actually releasing this thing, I'm very, very curious to see if there'll be interest for a second one.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll make one just for us, and then that'll be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I mean, look, even the worst, even the schlockiest movies have their day, have their rabid fans, have the people who are like, you know what? I lost an hour of my life, but I still watched it. And that's all that ultimately matters in the end. And sometimes when the world is going to shit around you, it's good to watch it and go, well, could be worse.
So here's the thing. For me, I just want to see one person cosplay the arborist.
That would be fun.
And because that was the joy for me during the Brown Coat days, is that I caught one or two people cosplaying our characters, and then somebody cosplayed me at a Brown Coat bash. That was C. David Dent, dressed as me for a costume contest.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I walking around Monster Mania, I'm walking around MegaCon's little horror area. I would love that. That would be, if we achieve anything besides paying everybody back and getting everybody paid. If we achieve having one person cosplay the arborist,
yeah, that would be cool.
So yeah, all right,
good deal.
Anything you want to go over?
No, we've got some editing to do, and we've got some scores to coordinate, and we got to finish a movie.
We literally have some scores to settle.
We do have some scores.
That's the weirdest way of saying that. I think that's a good wrap.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll do the shortest episode probably of this year as we go down the line.
Probably of this year, not of last year, but of this year.
And that's it for episode 26 of the Big Damn Podcast. And let's huge shout out to DJ Safer, as always, who does our intro and outro music.
Absolutely. But before we wrap things up, huge big damn thank you to our amazing supporters at Patreon, who, as we said, literally keep our lights on. Shout out to Amy and Bill at the Big Damn Hoodie tier. Ashley, Heather, John. Read the comments, Logan. Lauren, Nicole, Samuel, and Steven at the Big Damn High Five tier. And, of course, our free tier supporters, Taylor, Catherine, Scott, and Victoria.
Yes. When this comes out, it will be April 1st. This is not an April Fool's joke. You have less than 30 days. It is 23 days to get your tickets to the premiere. Go to smodcastlecinemas.com and grab your tickets. If you don't go to the premiere, we're going to have to find a way to get you to see it somewhere else.
Yeah. We'll figure that out, and we'll tell you about it in a subsequent one, but you won't have the inside scoop.
And the funny thing is the next time this podcast comes out, we'll be on the other side of the premiere.
We will.
And you can't come see it then. Sorry.
It'd be too late.
You can't come to the premiere. You have to find another way to see it.
Get it now. And as always, subscribe to the show. Follow us on social media. And you'd better be at the premiere.
Right. Thanks for listening. As always, keep telling your big damn stories and go to the fucking premiere.